Hello, everyone. Nicholas Dettmann here in another edition of the Dettmann Media Podcast, where we discuss and go over and analyze the latest social media and digital marketing trends and analysis, and trying to offer you tips on how to better improve your social media and digital marketing strategies. Thank you for joining me today. We've got a couple cool topics to discuss on today's podcast, so we'll just jump right on into it so we can start hitting on those important topics. So, one thing that I want to start with, I guess the thing I want to start with today is talking about how to manage your reputation online. No matter the size of a business, managing its reputation online is an important element to success. Big or small, really how it perceives a company or organization is going to go a long way toward the overall success or even failure of the company or organization. A positive reputation translates to loyalty and sales. Well, as you'd imagine, a negative reputation does the opposite. A recent Harris poll has a ranking system called the Reputation Quotient Rankings, and it consists of 6 dimensions. And those are social responsibility, vision and leadership, financial performance, products and services, emotional appeal, and workplace environment. Those are the 6 pillars, and that's according to searchstaff.com is where the graphic is from. So the question is, well, how do you do it? Well, the first step is to see what is out there about your company or organization. And you can do that by doing a Google search of your company or organization and see what pops up. You can also take a look at the reviews posted on your social media channels, and this falls in line with social listening. So if you were to type in your company or organization into a Google search, presumably there would be what's called the Google business results, or the informational block that shows businesses with your name, which includes like your location, phone number, and so forth. And often with that are the reviews that people will post about your business or organization. And certainly you can see what they're saying, and you do have the opportunity to address those through a program called Google Business Manager. And that's another free tool that you have at your disposal through Google. And then, like I mentioned too, you have your social media channels. What are people saying on your social media channels when either you make a post or when in the reviews section? It's very important to keep those lines of communication open with people that's either positively or negatively talk about your company. Certainly you want to reach out to people when they say something positive, because more people will tend to discredit you or ridicule or criticize you more than they will actually compliment you. So when someone goes out of their way to compliment you, you want to definitely acknowledge that. Well, and the same goes for any negative feedbacks too. You just want to reply and understand and make the person on the other end understand that you did listen and that you didn't ignore them. Because I think that's the one thing we all still don't like, is we don't like being ignored. So once you see what's being said about your company or organization, like I said, you want to interact with the people that are leaving the messages or reviews. You thank them for their insight and opinion, good or bad. If there is a negative review, you certainly want to address it as soon as you can. The general rule of thumb is try to do it within 24 hours after they post it. When there is a negative review, view it as a chance to rectify the situation and not be combative. Sometimes people will be stubborn and not return the favor. However, if it is addressed immediately, the person may add a review saying they were appreciative that their matter was addressed and rectified. And if that's the case, then you have a positive experience. And remember, positive experiences lead to brand loyalty, and often brand loyalty leads to conversions or sales. So, and you got to be prepared too. I mean, some people are just going to want to say something bad just because they want to. Unfortunately, that's the downside of being a digital age and a social media age, is people are just going to do that and they're not going to respond. But the best thing you can do is publicly acknowledge that you saw their complaint and that you wish to rectify it, and then that the ball is in their court at that point. If they don't want to cooperate, then that's on them at that point, and there's nothing you can do to change their mind. But if there could be those cases where, again, if you address the person or group that has the issue online, they could be very appreciative that, hey, you listen to me, and I thank you for that. And there are people who will do that as well. So that's why it's very good to respond to any feedback, good or bad. I mean, I would even put the good or bad at the same level of importance. You don't favor more bad feedback over good. You want to keep the lines of communication open no matter which way you go, and that's just a great way to manage your reputation online. And speaking of that, managing that reputation online can be a daunting task, but it doesn't really have to be. You can set up notifications to if and when a review is posted either on social media or on Google or elsewhere. And you can see that in real time because, like I mentioned, you should try to address any feedback, good or bad, within 24 hours. That's kind of the general rule of thumb in terms of expectations from customers to when they should hear back from a business or organization. So in the last part here we'll talk about here is something Twitter did recently. If you remember a while back, they had the blue checkmark program. You could still see the profiles that have that authentication checkmark. You saw it a lot with mostly celebrity accounts that verified that the person behind, like LeBron James's Twitter, was indeed LeBron, or if it was George Clooney or another well-known celebrity. That way you know it wasn't some kind of fake account. So a few years ago, in 2017 to be exact, Twitter suspended its blue checkmark verification program for profiles because according to Hootsuite.com, quote, a scandal that involved a white supremacist account got the badge, and which was against the Twitter's community guidelines policies. So Twitter shut down that program for a while, but after some tweaks, Twitter has decided to relaunch the program. So according to its website, quote, the blue verified badge on Twitter lets people know that an account of public interest is authentic. And to receive the blue badge, your account must be authentic, notable, and active. Anybody can really do it. You can apply for your profile to receive the blue checkmark verification. I have a link in my blog on how to see if you are eligible according to Twitter's community guidelines. And then I also have it in my blog is how to actually get verified. And there's a blog post within my blog by Hootsuite that explains exactly how to do that. So if that's something that's of interest to you, you think that maybe that's something your company wants to do, it is free to do. But you have to meet certain requirements and specifications in order for that to be active for your own page, or if you have if you're an influencer page on Twitter, or if you have a company page and you want to have that blue check mark. Just having that actually is really just provides, like we mentioned, authenticity to your profile, and people know that this is a real account. This is not some fake accounts, because if it's potentially perceived as a fake account, people may not trust what's on your profile. But the blue check mark puts a little more validity and authenticity to your page, and that can help attract potential customers as well. So that covers today's topics. I want to thank you again for joining me today here on the Dettmann Media Podcast. If you don't already, you want to click subscribe to the podcast, that'd be awesome. And if you can head on over to the blog at nicholasdettmann.blogspot.com. There will be an opportunity for you to subscribe to the blog as well, and you'll get email updates right to your inbox when a post is made on the blog, where I post industry news, industry tips, analysis, and things like that. Get that delivered right to your email inbox. And of course, if there's a topic that you'd like me to discuss, or if you have a question about something in your digital or social media marketing strategies, if you're kind of hitting a roadblock, I'd be happy to try and address those questions for you, either in the podcast or through email. So until next time, everybody stay safe, and we will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.